Good evening, teacher and everybody. We are from Group 5, which have 5 members such as Phomsombat, me, Narawattai, Langsuchita, Riem Chingling, and Okim Soang. And today we're going to present about the village by the sea, chapter 12. And here is our table content. The first one is story summary, which will be presented by me. The second one is character analysis, which will be presented by Langsuchita. The third one is theme analysis, which will be presented by Okim Soang. The fourth one is main message, will be presented by Riem Chingling. And the last one is connection between studied text and real life, which will be presented by Mr. Phomsombat. And let's enjoy our summary chapter 12 together. Harry ended up taking a bus back to Toll, which Yago and Mr. Penvilla had paid for. Mr. Penvilla cautioned him to be safe, watch for pickpockets, and sent him a postcard. The bus headed out of the city and tried past a massive sea. There is then a dreary strait consisting of factories, and then more and more signs of transformation. However, the hills are still violet and bronze, the sky blue, and the rice field vacant. The bus set him down on the highway beside a hill with the temple on top. He walked past the field where he worked, see the white bungalow of Mount Rapids, and finally espy his own dark and dismal hut. He decides he will rebuild it and make it a cheerful and happy home.
Lila, Bella, Kamal.
Hurry, hurry! I knew you would come.
How did you know? I didn't write anything.
Oh, I knew. We made some sweet for you. Come and eat. Lila came toward him with a brass tray on the palm of her hand.
Yeah, but I have to wash first. I am dusty. Where is mother, Lila?
Mother is away in hospital in Alibar. The day she was took her there. I go to see her when I have the bus fare. She is much better now. With a good food and proper medicine, I suppose. The doctor said it was anemia, which she got because of having poor food to eat. Then Harry brought out presents for them. Lila gasped and the little girls squalled and pressed their hands to their mouths. Where did you get so much money from, Harry? He explained he brought a lot of money home. He told them about repairing watches, which at first saddened Lila because she cannot see how it would make money. But he told her the full plan of starting a small poultry farm, and then later starting his own watch repair shop. After a long conversation with his sister, Harry asking for his father.
Where is father?
He is in a Libar. He was very angry when the Silvas took her away, but he stopped drinking and followed her to the hospital in order to look after her. Harry, let's go to the beach and buy some fish for your homecoming dinner. Harry and Lila go down to buy fish from the fleet. Harry tells her he hasn't had it for so long and is happy about it. Lila tells Harry that tomorrow is Diwali and they can bring mother home. Harry volunteered to fetch her. Let's go home and eat.
Run, I'll race you.
At that evening, Harry told them all about his work at Bombay, and Lila told him back about what had happened during his absence. Lila explained that the Silvas and their new guest Sayid Ali Sahid have done with after all the other left.
After I come back from Alibag, I'll go and thank him for looking after all of you. You are wonderful of how you manage all these months so well.
Thank you, Bongwate, for your beautiful summary. After we have heard about Chapter 12 summary, I am going to analyze all the characters mentioned in Chapter 12. In this chapter, the author mostly describes about the four siblings' reunion, and they are Harry, Leela, Kama, and Bella. Besides that, the siblings also mention about their father, their mother, Mr. De Silvas, Sayyid Ali Sahib, Jagu, and Mr. Penwala. So now, let's go and analyze all the characters together. First, we're going to look at Mr. Penwala. When Harry going back to Tool, Mr. Penwala is the one who bought Harry a bus ticket and also handed Harry 10 rupee notes farewell as a present when he said goodbye to Harry at the shop door. His action shows that Mr. Penwala is a generous person who is willing to help people who are in need and people around him. Besides that, Mr. Jagu is a person who would take his morning working time off in order to take Harry to the bus depot and to make sure that Harry got on the right bus. Before Harry got on the bus, Mr. Jagu kept reminding him to be careful with the money and was very worried about Harry. From these activities, we can analyze that Mr. Jagu is a caring, protecting person toward his employee who is Harry. So now, let's talk about Mr. De Silvas. Mr. De Silvas is a person with kind-hearted because he was the one who brought Harry's mother to the hospital in Alibar. Another person who also involved in helping Harry's family is Sayyid Ali Sahib. He is helpful and kind because after all the elders in Leela house had left to Alibar, Sayyid Ali Sahib was there to help the 3 siblings and looked after them. Talking about Leela's father, Leela told Harry that their father had completely changed. Leela's father has changed himself to a better person and stopped drinking anymore. He is now a responsible and caring person because he gave up drinking and went to take care of his wife who is sick at the hospital. About Leela's mother, she is a strong person because even though she had illness with her, but she never gave up her life and willing to cure her illness so that she could live with her family longer. Now, we are going to analyze the 4 siblings. First, let's take a look at the 2 younger sisters who are Bella and Kama. They are cheerful, smart, and support people. Even if they were young and innocent, they wouldn't make any trouble in the family, but helped the family as much as they could. They could take care of themselves even the elders were away in the hospital. In addition, they were very happy to meet Harry and play with their siblings and get their mom from the hospital. A bigger sister who is Leela. Leela is a thrifty daughter. Even she had more money than in the past, she still spent the money wisely and bargained the price with the sellers when she bought fish at the beach with the other siblings. She is thoughtful, hardworking sisters, and furthermore, she was the one who looked after her 2 sisters and thought about her family the whole time, even when Harry arrived home. After she listened to Harry's idea of business, a lot of thinking popped up to her mind, and she told Harry about what she was thinking. Harry is a risk-taking, ambitious, responsible person. Harry had spent his few months in Bombay all by himself and come back home willing to invest his money into doing business which is new to the village. He showed and believed in himself that in the future his business is gonna grow up and successful. Because he is a responsible person, He tried to think of many ways of earning money for his family, especially his sister's future, so that in the future they will have better life. He thought of having a farm and open a watch mending shop. He was a worried and caring man, because while walking on the sand with his sisters, he asked Lila about fishermen who was lost during monsoon.
Hello teacher and hello classmate. You have just known about the character analysis. So, without further delay, let's move to the next point, which is about theme analysis. To begin with, I would like to give a definition of the word theme. Theme is a recurring idea or concept in the text. It is not explicit. Therefore, the writer must look for repeated imagery or symbols, examine the relationships between plot, setting, characters, and structures, and think about the feeling evoked throughout the text. In this chapter, we have recognized three important themes. The first theme that I'm gonna talk now is about freedom. Freedom here means that people are able to live their life doing whatever they want and as well as whatever they love. They are not tied to something which is a constraint to them. In this chapter, Harry was able to leave Bombay with the money he had saved for 9 months. Harry was able to live with his family and brought back the skill which could help him to open up a business in Tun. He is now making his own life choice. Leela also was not tied to looking after her illness mother anymore and lived with the happy family without any debt. Move to the second theme of the story is about family. Family is a powerful theme with different permutations and meanings in the text. Firstly, family is extremely important for providing comfort, success, and support. Harry and Leela work together to take care of their parents and their siblings, and Harry was being away from them for all so long wears on him heavily. As we can see in the story, Harry felt a lot happy and better when he arrived home and met his family. Family meant everything for him, and he also could do everything for the family, as well as even though he was away from his family, still he was caring for them days and nights. Last but not least, kindness. Kindness is a sincere and voluntary use of one's time, talent, and resources to better the lives of others, one's own life, and the world through genuine acts of love. According to the chapter 12 of the story, the kindness of Jagu and Mr. Penvola toward Harry was an action that cannot be underestimated. Even though they were strangers and have known each other for only 9 months, still their kindness was very pure toward the boys. They had helped Harry when Harry had no one to be with. And here is the end of the part. Let's move to another part which will be presented by Jinling.
Hello everyone, welcome to the next part, which is about the main message based on the psychoanalytic criticism theory that will be presented by me, Jenny. According to the Sigmund Freud, a psychologist who is known to be the founding father of psychotherapy, developed the psychoanalytic theory during his practice in Vienna, Austria. He had established the three different personality structures that he called the id, the ego, and the superego. So, let's take a closer look at the id. The id is the biological component of the personalities that include your instincts. The id operates in our unconscious mind. It is like the little devil sitting on the cartoon character's shoulder, quietly whispering in the ear to be self-serving and behave morally that always selfish and needy. It also operates according to the pleasure principle, which refers to the idea that all our needs should be met immediately. Then we have the ego. The ego operates in our preconscious conscious mind. The ego is part of the personalities that make a decision because it acts as the moderators to choose the decisions and faces consequences. The ego operates according to the reality principle, which means the idea that the desire of the id must be satisfied and the method that is both socially appropriate and realistic. Finally, there is the superego. The superego exists in all three levels of consciousness. The superego is similar to the little angels that is always concerned with what is socially acceptable. The superego pushes you to obtain the ego ideal or your view of what is right. It also represents your conscience or your view of what is considered to be wrong. So, to further understand this, let's apply ego, the id, and the superego in the scenario. Welcome to the first scenario. Harry came back to Dole to meet his family. So, what are the id, the ego, and the superego? Here is the id. He stayed in Bombay forever and enjoyed his life. From the previous chapter, we can see that Harry wanted to go to Bombay and that was his desire, and also the reason why he chose to leave his family. The final decision is the ego. He decided to come back to his village, which is Dole, and live with his family with the money he had saved for 9 months. When we talk about the superego, it's really related to the morality. Harry wanted to be a good child and help his family because he was the only man who could save his family while his father was useless and always drunken. Therefore, Harry wanted to find a solution to support his family by leaving them and went to work in Bombay. As we saw that the ego goes with superego, which means the superego has more influence on the id. Here is the second scenario. Harry's father got mad at the Silva who took his fire away, so he broke all the wall posts in the house. The id is he felt extremely frustrated and wanted to destroy something. It simply happened when someone took your lover away, you might feel angry with them without reason and you really can't control your temper too. And here is the ego. He broke all the wallboard in the house. So, what is the superego? He should appropriately ask for the reason, not just let the feeling control his mind. At this point, you can see that the id has more influence on the superego. So, which means when the id has power over the superego, it is called the ego-defined mechanism. It means sublimation or displacement. And it has come to the end of my part, so let's continue to the next member. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ling, for your interesting messages. Greeting, teacher, and hello, classmates. I am Sambat, and here we are at the last part of our presentation, which I'm gonna talk about the connection between study text and real life. The purpose of this part is to let you know how this chapter relates to the real society. In this chapter of the story, I have sorted out 3 main points that I think everyone should know. Thus, I would like to draw all of your attention to take a look together. The first essential reflective point that I'm gonna talk about now is work hard pays off. As we have seen in the first paragraph of chapter 12 on page 134, it shows that before Harry left Bombay, Jagu had paid much attention on Harry for he loved Harry for his goodness. In addition, Mr. Panwala also gave extra money to Harry for the boy had helped him at the white shop. Harry had earned some money that he could use to help support his family and also start his own business when he returned to Toul. This simply means that whatever you do, whenever you try your best and work hard for it, one day the good outcomes will come to you. Reflecting on the real world, I will give you a fact to illustrate the point. A very well-known football superstar, Cristiano Ronaldo, he was very poor when he was young. He did not even have enough food to eat. As his father was an alcoholic, his mother had to work a lot days and nights to help support his family and to send him to train football. With the phenomenon of his determination, he committed to work very hard for it. Therefore, he is now one of the best footballers in the world. As a result, he has plenty amount of money and his family is now living in a very beautiful condition. This is the result of hard work and it pays off. Turning our attention to the second reflective point is about development. The fact of development that we cannot deny is that it has two main side effects. One is bad and another one is good. In the story on page 134 and 135, it stated that the factory was pouring out evil-smelling smoke and chemicals into the discolored sky, as well as the waste into the sea. However, it was also beneficial to the local people as well as the whole country. It brought jobs for people around that area so that they could earn money and have a better living. Those are the consequences of development that we can always see in real society. A good mirror of this spot is about the hot news in Cambodia. These days, the government has just announced that we are now having a gold mining factory which can create 3 tons of gold per year. Taking a look at the process of building the factory, a lot of trees were being cut down, and we know that it has impacted so much on the environment. In spite of bad effect, it has brought an influx of foreign investment in Cambodia, creating employment and economic opportunity, reinforcing the diversification of the local industries, and providing many other socio-economic benefits for Cambodia. Now, let's go through to the last reflection to the reality, which is about learning from other people's mistakes. On page 139, we can see that Leela had told Harry something negative about the idea of starting a poultry farm, for she was afraid it's gonna fail like the previous farm. Harry himself also knew there was a poultry farm used to be in Toul, and it failed for many various reasons. However, he brought the positive perspective of his idea by learning from the mistakes that made the farm fail. Getting back to the reality, Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, once said, "If you want to be succeeded, learn from other people's mistakes." The man himself used to be failed so many times, but he did not give up and learn from his mistakes, and hence he became a successful man. In this phrase, he meant that when you want to attempt doing something and you already know the root causes of its failure so that you can avoid it and accomplish it better. Now, our presentation has come to an end. I would love to say thank you so much for spending your valuable time to participate in our demonstration. Thank you so much.